Okay, I reloaded Big Dappuccino here. This is going to be a kind of different episode. Where really not. I have done this type of content in the past, but I call them showcases. And I could have, with showcases, I usually focus on a certain car manufacturer, or even a certain design, or even related cars like a theme or something for a showcase. But I kind of went out branded and kind of changed it up. And because me and a friend had a debate about the hobby and where it's going, and how adults, how we kind of, I shouldn't say messed it up, but we kind of elevated the hobby with pros and cons. And now it's a lot of money and greed involved. But my simple solution was to get back to the essence of why you started collecting. And for me, it was just picking up the castings. And I started doing research as an adult. And with that said, this is going to be the first of what I'm going to call mainline masterpieces. And this video episode, I should say, is going to be called Imported and Tuned Up. Of course, focusing on import tuners or sport compacts. People use different words for them. People call them rice burners or grocery carts, but they're pretty efficient cars that can be modified easily. And we got some great examples here. So first, let's start with what's on the turntable now. This is a Honda Civic Si. It's supposed to be based on the model produced in real life from 1995 to 2000. This is, according to the Hot Wheels wiki, the first Honda casting by Hot Wheels when it was originally manufactured. Super Street Magazine was involved in the original designer through someone by the name of Dave Martis. I think he was a consultant. Alex Tam did the sculpting, and Alex, I hope I'm saying this right, Tes Tes Tashirmi Tashirmi, I think it's Tashirmi. Alex Chershimi did the graphics on the ones that came before, but this one doesn't have graphics on the side. The original tooling debuted in 2001. First editions is still produced today. Like I said, I mentioned Alex Tam. I didn't mention, okay, Dave Martis and Eric Tuskini, I think, are listed as having parts in the creation of this casting. Like I said, it was retooled in 2021 to look more realistic because before it didn't have headlights and stuff. And this is the second color variation of the retool casting in 2021 from Factory Fresh. You can see the Fast and the Furious influence in this, especially if you're a fan or ever seen the first movie, and I've seen dozens of them. All it needs is those split, I think, five spoke wheels, but it looks kind of similar because it has 10 spokes. But the real one, it's actually five spokes, but they're split, so it looks like 10 spokes. But and it needs that green afterglow, but everything else is the same. And I think it needs a double decker spoiler. This one only has one. I think the other one had a double decker spoiler or something like that. And I thought about doing a diorama thing with three more of these Hondas and maybe a replica of like a Banks truck because I have a couple of them. I'm sure if you collect, you do too. But I have one that's a replica of Brinks truck, and I thought that would be pretty cool. So that's a cool idea if you have a diorama. or even an 18-wheeler tractor trailer. But anyway, let's move on. Because this was like an extra. This wasn't even supposed to be part of, that car wasn't even supposed to be part of the original lineup. But, there was no Hondas represented. So I felt like Honda needed to be represented. So next was move on with this Volkswagen Golf GTI, which is actually from Matchbox. It debuted in NBX Metal 2006. The scale is actually 159. This version came from a 2009 Mainline. It was in a 10 pack. Am I not supposed to do 10 packs? I guess it is. And this is charcoal gray. Was it a 10 pack? It was probably a 5 pack. I don't do no 10 packs. So I probably made a mistake. I think it was a 5 pack. I got this from. And it's a dark gray. It says charcoal, which is dark gray near black. In between. Yeah, it's a real slick model. Headlights, tail lights. Executed nicely. Even though I think I have, do I have a mini GT? Oh, it's like, I don't know. I don't remember. I definitely have an oversized, what you call it, majorette version. So, this is pretty cool on Mainline. And the whole thing of this is to give appreciation for the Mainline. You know, it's not all about super treasure hunts and well, ID is pretty much going out because that whole line has been I said canceled. So the last few IDs that have come out, that's it. There's not going to be any more going forth. I don't know what they're going to do with them castings or retoolings basically because they were retooled from the main line. But anyway, this is a Toyota Celica from Hot Wheels. This casting debuted in first editions, produced from 2001 to 2011. This was designed by Phil Rowman, based on a 2001 seventh generation version, variation, I should say, the Toyota Celica. This casting features a TRD action inspired body kit and a wing inspired by the Ultimate Celica concept by TRD. This version right here is from Tuner's 2002, red with the Martin Image sponsor logos. And Martin Image, I think they did graphics. Because I think they did graphics. They were involved with the actual Fast and Furious movie. In fact, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, if you look on the hood, originally it had Martin Image. Yeah. That's the name of it? Yeah. Yeah, Martin Image on the hood. A company, like I said, was very hot in the early to mid 2000s. And this is one that I went back and got when I first started being an adult collector, probably early, I don't think it was 2009, 2010. I probably got this around 2013, maybe 2014, maybe a little after that, maybe in 2015, 16, somewhere around, I don't remember. But I know it was way before the pandemic, and it was something I went back to get, because I was looking for something actually. This particular car, this Toyota Celica, which you still see, usually the GT, I know I see a couple around my way still. And it's that tuner look, man. It's either you like it or not. You think it's ugly, it's bogus, whatever. But it is what it is. It was definitely a thing during the early to mid 2000s. So it's pretty cool. This next car is Sycon FRS from HW Showroom, HW Garage, debuting. I should say that's when it debuted in the HW Showroom, HW Garage, 2013. It was designed by the late great Ryo Asada, and this version is from Hot Wheels Workshop, then and now, 2014. And what they say, Iondons, I guess, on, is that right? On Donalize, on a, I don't know, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway, it's silver. uh, of course, this interesting car, the Scion RFS. Anyway, it's basically Toyota body with a Subaru engine. I don't know if they did the transmission too, but mainly Subaru mechanics. And basically, there were Toyota versions that pretty much continued in production after this car. Sycon, the whole company, decided to get rid of it. I think a couple of years ago. I want to say 2000. I forgot. It was sometime in the late 2010s. They dropped that company, and you had their Subaru version was the BRZ. The Toyota version was the GT86. So it has no tail lights. It has no headlights. But this would be a great foundation for a custom. A great foundation for a custom. Next, we have the Mazda 89 Mazda Savannah RX-7 FC3S, which is based on the 89 model. This debuted in Night Burners 2020, designed again by the great Ryo Asada. The actual car in real life was a replacement for the early FB series that had been around since, I think, I want to say late 70s. Kind of evolved the body style a little bit around the early to mid 80s. And of course, the whole design in real life was inspired by the Porsche 924, Porsche 944. This one in white was from HWJ Sports 2021. And not much to say. We all see this car around. I think the latest version is blue. Has tail lights. Really didn't need headlights. It's unusual. It's running duals. Usually, sport imports, they have a single pipe. But it's pretty clean. See the front indicators on the side, so we're gonna move on. This one is white with white wheels too. That's unusual. Even though it has some black on the side, so it's not like open wheel design. They did some painting on this and some contouring, so obviously it's not just one. So that's very, I think it's kind of cheap, but oh well, it is what it is. I guess it makes a stronger wheel. And last but not least, we have this here Mitsubishi Eclipse, based on the 2002 Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider. This one, I mean, it debuted in 2004, first editions, produced from 2004 to 2011. This was designed by a designer I just mentioned before, Phil Rowman. I wonder, does he still work for Hot Wheels? Because he's done a lot of castings, a lot of good ones too. This version is from Ragtops and Roasters 2007. A metal fake black, chrome, Wi-Fi wheels. Or do they still use these? That's what I said. This reminds me of the Fast and Furious Roadster. And that movie came out around this time. I think it came out, I want to say, in 2000, because the other one movie came out in 2001. I think Fast, Too Furious came out in 2003. I think so. I think it came out in 2003. But again, it's one of them early to mid 2000s things. Either you hate it or you love it. No tail lights on this one. It's a headlights. Definitely headlights on there. It painted. It's kind of gaudy looking. Design. Got flame design. But the steering wheel looks kind of ugly. It doesn't look real defined. You can see the interior and stuff. Kind of boxy, almost cartoonish look to it, but and like I said, with a lot of these models, man, I would like to have a more realistic version. But Tomica is hard to find, or either charge an arm and a leg, and you go more premium. I doubt they do the designs. Their best bet would probably be Tomica. But that's pretty much it, man. So this is Mainline Masterpieces, and we're just gonna conclude right here. I want to thank subscribers for your support. Channel up and down views, you know how it go. We try to stay in there, do what we can, represent for the hobby. As far as new random viewers, I hope you like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can have access to all the content. I do different kinds of content. The model here show a little love for the diecast. Big Pacino signing out. This has been Mainline Masterpieces. This is episode is called Imported and Tuned Up. Peace and blessings.